think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter.
The comparison, listen, Crawford Mayweather would have been an amazing fight in their prime. Just like you insert Ray Leonard in there, just like you insert Ray Robinson in there. What a round robin that would have been.
You try. You catch him, he want to catch you back. You know what I mean? You fight Bud, he's not. Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
Canelo Alvarez has weighed in on Terence Crawford's acceptance of Floyd Mayweather's fight offer, warning that Crawford would beat Floyd if the two ever fought. Canelo called Crawford the better fighter right now and said he deserves full recognition for everything he has achieved. He praised Crawford's skill, timing, and all-around brilliance, calling him an amazing fighter who has conquered multiple weight divisions and earned respect across the entire sport.
Better than Floyd Mayweather. We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or speed or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything.
Okay.
He have everything. You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just not let me go. And you need to accept it. That's it. He's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. He know how to move and
Garage Hackett shared his perspective on Canelo's comments by comparing Canelo's loss to Floyd with Crawford's victory over him years later. Hackett explained that when Canelo faced Floyd at just 23, he was still young, inexperienced, and not yet a fully developed fighter. In contrast, Crawford fought and defeated Canelo when he was already an established champion at his peak, with maturity and polish. That, Hackett argued, makes Crawford's victory even more impressive, since he overcame the best version of Canelo, unlike the inexperienced one who lost to Mayweather.
What I think is, when Floyd beat me, I was 23, I wasn't polished. When Bud beat me, I was the man. The man. And he beat me fair and square. He beat me at my game and he beat me at his game. That's why Canelo said it. Do I believe that? It's tough to believe. We're not gonna ever see Bud versus Floyd. And it's crazy. It's crazy because I would love to see that fight, but I know we're not gonna see it. But I can only take Canelo's word because he's the man that's been in the ring with both of them. But I understand why he said it. I was a kid when I fought Floyd. He wasn't a kid literally, but he was young. He was young. There was a lot he didn't know. There was a lot he didn't understand about boxing that he later on learned and got better. But Bud beat the better version of me, even though it's the ran down version. I'm saying that because it is some wear and tear there with Canelo. I've been saying it the whole time. When a guy got almost 70 fights in current time, with all those big camps he's been doing and all that, trust me, it's some wear and tear there. I'm not making excuses for Canelo. I'm just saying. I do give Bud his credit though for beating Canelo, and Canelo understands I am a better fighter today than I was back then. But that's hard to say because Floyd, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Bud took maybe 20% of what Floyd did and added that to his repertoire for this fight. So that's why I'm saying it's tough to say.
Joe Rogan expressed sheer amazement at Crawford's victory over Canelo, highlighting that Crawford moved up 2 full weight classes at the age of 37, a nearly unheard of achievement in boxing history. Rogan emphasized that no fighter at that stage of their career has ever beaten someone as accomplished as Canelo, making it a truly historic moment. For Rogan, it wasn't just a victory, it was a defining landmark that displayed Crawford's greatness and cemented his legacy as one of the sport's most remarkable athletes.
Rounds, really started getting comfortable and really started putting it on him. I'm like, this is amazing.
You know, one of those rare, like that's history, obviously, right? Watching somebody do You shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able to fight at that weight for the first time ever.
Against one of the greatest
greatest of all time, fucking, and do what you did. It is beyond, like, my favorite, an outlier. You're beyond an outlier. You're an anomaly.
Yeah. Something special. And
something really special.
I believe he's 37.
Yeah. One of those where you shouldn't be able to do that by any account. By any account. 37, my body was so wrecked. I'm like, fuck you. You know, I could barely go bolt.
Paulie Nalignaggi gave his thoughts on the debate over whether Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford is the greater fighter. He pointed out that comparisons like these are endless because both belong to different eras with unique challenges. He explained that while Floyd's undefeated record and legendary career speak volumes, Crawford's dominance across multiple divisions and victories over elite fighters also demand recognition. For Nalignaggi, the discussion itself is what makes boxing so fascinating, even if it will never have a definitive answer.
54 pounders and it was in a young Canelo and a very tough Cotto who was punching very hard from 4 to 54. You know, remember Cotto had knocked out Delvin Rodriguez at 54. He'd still done some damage at 54, and I thought
won a title at 60.
Yeah, and I thought he knocked out Martinez at 60, and I thought he gave Mayweather a pretty good fight at 54. I don't know. I can't say I disagree or agree. I just think that Mayweather, because it's so far away, so long ago, you know, and people sort of start to underestimate the things he did. You know, people talk about Canelo takes his repertoire from the Mayweather repertoire. No, he doesn't. Mayweather fought ex-champions. This guy's fighting guys who will never even smell, may never smell a belt in their life, and he was fighting them. So. You know, Mayweather, even if you're saying, he didn't fight the very best, he still fought champions and ex-champions.
Timothy Bradley made a bold claim, saying Crawford has the tools to beat Mayweather too. Bradley explained that Crawford's intelligence, adaptability, power, and sharp timing would pose major problems for Floyd's defensive style. He argued that Crawford's ability to adjust mid-fight makes him a nightmare opponent, even for Mayweather in his prime. Bradley stressed that Crawford isn't just great, he has everything it takes to surpass fighters once considered untouchable.
Oh, absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Sam Judah. Sam Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaw. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's gonna reach against one of the best back foot counter punches in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that backhand. The way he reaches with that. That level change backhand he throws too? Man. That pull jab he does too, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. Floyd got a 72-inch reach. Yeah, he had quickness, fast reflexes. However, Crawford got all of that too. He got all of that too. And he got a 75-inch reach. Great counter puncher. Can concentrate all night. Can put pressure on Floyd. He can even invite Floyd in. Yep, I noticed. Floyd's not having success. He started to step on the gas. That's what he do. And he gonna run into problems with Crawford because Crawford.
Some analysts argue that for Crawford to surpass Mayweather's legacy, he must face an even bigger challenge, Dimitri Bivol. Known for his size, skill, and dominance at light heavyweight, Bivol represents the kind of test that could take Crawford's reputation to new heights. Critics believe that if Crawford were to defeat Bivol, a prime, bigger, and technically brilliant champion, he would achieve something even Floyd never did, sealing his place as boxing's ultimate historical figure.
Next, since Bud's so strong, that's what I said. Why are you talking about 54? None of them dudes gonna get you up. If you truly beat Canelo, why not be the greatest fighter in the existence of boxing? Like, Bivol was the only dude to beat 2 undisputed active champions. Like, he beat Canelo as an undisputed champion, and he beat Better Beef as an undisputed champion. Bivol, historically, might go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. If you beat Bivol and you beat Canelo, I mean, Crawford might have surpassed TBE in Floyd. Floyd has never beaten someone as accomplished as Bivol. And forget about accomplishments like perceived threat.
Reports suggest that Crawford is now aiming to become a 6th-division world champion, a feat achieved by only a handful of fighters in history. Already recognized for his dominance across weight classes, Crawford's desire to push even further shows his hunger to challenge himself at every level. Moving into the middleweight division, where naturally bigger and stronger opponents await, would be his next bold step, and it has stirred huge excitement across the boxing world.
His team stated that if he does stay in the sport of boxing and he does move down, he's not going to drop down below 160. And so it's being reported that Terence Crawford wants to become a 6th division champion. And a guy that he had his sights set on is now calling him out aggressively and daring him to come down and fight him. And that's Janibek, who is seen to be the best 160-pounder in the world. And he's the unified IBF and WBO 160 middleweight world champion. The middleweight division, 160, is a glamour division. There's the top three glamour divisions in the sport of boxing is welterweight, 147. Terence Crawford knocked out every opponent he faced at welterweight and became undisputed there.
Adding to the buzz, Janibek Alan-Cannully has issued a direct challenge to Crawford, daring him to face him at middleweight. As an undefeated champion with a growing reputation, Janibek sees Crawford as the perfect opponent for a career-defining fight. For Crawford, taking on this challenge would not only continue his pursuit of legacy but also prove his dominance against yet another division. Even the possibility of this matchup has sparked heated debate among fans and experts.
And became undisputed there. The next glamour division is middleweight, 160. That Marvin Hagler, made famous, many middleweights, Sugar Ray Robinson. It's a glamour division, right? Sugar Ray Leonard moved up there, Tommy Hearns, that's a glamour division. And obviously, the division that carries the sport of boxing when it's on top is the heavyweight division. Then you can make a case for the lightweight division, so on and so forth, right? I would say the lightweight division is number 4. So Terence Crawford became a champion at lightweight, right? So with that said, you have Janibek, who's seen as the best fighter there.
An analyst reflected on the story of Miguel Silky Smooth Gonzalez, the last man to defeat Crawford back in the amateurs. He explained that beating Crawford today requires the same kind of extraordinary preparation fighters once needed against Mayweather in his prime. He pointed out that Crawford has become one of the sharpest, most complete fighters in boxing, combining elite defense with pinpoint offense. Just like Floyd frustrated opponents for years, Crawford now carries that same aura of invincibility.
What did you do to actually get a win over him?
I agree with Augie. With what he said about Floyd, I'm going to say about Crawford. You got to punch with Crawford. You got to counter Crawford and punch with Crawford. You gotta bang the body with Crawford. You gotta stay on top of Crawford. You know what I mean? Fight him in that phone booth if you can. As I remember, that's exactly what I did. Crawford, he switches and all that. I don't get that. I don't get out my hookup with all the switching he does. But what tripped me out was he got low in the ring. Like, he kind of cut his height down. I had a field day with that. He should have stayed tall. He cut his height down, and I stayed in his chest. And you gotta counter Crawford. You gotta fight Crawford. And what I always thought about Crawford was he's easily taken out his hookup. I thought, maybe he fought his fight. I thought he fought my fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he grew out of getting out of his hookup. I think I think he learned how to just kind of adjust and do what needed to be done more so.
Break that down for us, guys. What do you guys mean the hookup? Break that down for us.
So yeah, you know what?
Getting caught up in a war?
I'll go ahead, Miguel. Like break down Bud getting caught out of his hookup.
Well, with Bud, I thought, but you can easily get Bud to fight you.
Back in the day. Yeah. And you know, Gamboa, you know, showed parts of that. You know, and Bud, all his fights, Bud fights you. Yeah.
Bud gets, you know what I mean? Every fight I see Bud fighting, even still to this day, but I totally understand what Sean's saying. For sure. Bud's the truth. But when I see Bud fighting, you catch him, he want to catch you back. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You fight Bud, Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
Brian Bomac McIntyre, Crawford's longtime trainer, offered his thoughts on the Canelo fight, describing it as easy because of how well prepared Crawford was. He also addressed critics who accuse Crawford of ducking opponents, explaining that fans always bring up names they think he should fight. Bomac argued that Crawford isn't avoiding challenges, he's simply following his own path. He stressed that Crawford's legacy should be judged by his consistent success in the ring, not by other people's demands.
We're all thinking that just because of the weight he should be okay because he's the naturally bigger man, but someone like Crawford, obviously, who's done what he's done, you have to be on the top of your game, and I felt with Canelo it was probably too many single shots that he was throwing, but he wasn't throwing the usual singles and backing it up because he was getting counted. And
he wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, it wasn't just that Canelo was bad is what I'm trying to get at. Crawford was absolutely sensational on the night and the deserved winner and one of the best.
Because the other side of the argument would be that they actually thought they might be getting Crawford at the right time because he hadn't fought for a while and had some particular surgery. I mean, did it go, as I said to you at the top of the show, Bomac, I mean, I watched you in the corner and I thought it was a exercise in how a corner should be conducted in terms of the communication, the coherency of it, and the discipline behind who spoke, when they spoke, what they said, and what needed to be heard. Did the fight go exactly as you had mapped out in your mind and what you thought would manifest itself? Is this your last fight? You know, it's really with me with Max Kellerman going in and making that the stop part of his questions. Do you think, Bomac, that he gets the recognition and the appreciation that his achievements merit?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Why do you think that is?
I think because of the simple fact that Terence is his own man. You know, he knows the path that he wants to go. And some of the boxing critics or some of the boxing people around boxing figure he should go this route or he should go that route. When he didn't go that route, he went this route. Or he's ducking the other middleweights. I mean, the other welterweights, so he's ducking the 140-pounder. No, he's not ducking them, he's just not available. Well, he should have went this way. I didn't want to go that way. I wanted to go this way.
Tony Jeffries reflected on Floyd Mayweather's brilliance, explaining that Floyd's greatness was not only about defense but also his flawless footwork, timing, and ability to outmaneuver anyone he faced. Jeffries reminded fans that Floyd defeated a series of legendary fighters during his career, further validating his status as one of boxing's all-time greats. He acknowledged that while Crawford's accomplishments are incredible, Mayweather's career remains one of the most decorated and technically masterful in history.
If you study Floyd closely like I have, you will notice that he never wastes any steps while he's in the ring. He will pivot just enough to take away the angle from the person in front of him, then he will reset in the center of the ring, and his movement and his footwork was just perfect. And it was his feet that made him control every single fight, putting him in the perfect position to defend punches, then that small little sidestep either way to put him into the position to be able to land punches back. And he would also use his front foot to apply pressure with them small little steps, waiting for that moment to land them punches. And if you train boxing, you should be constantly working on the specific footwork things that you need to work on, because you might agree with me, but without good feet, nothing else matters.
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more updates. Until next time.